You have entered the chronic rabbit hole. This is a story time with E.T.C, episode number 25, featuring Testament and me, Chuck Billy.
And how are you today?
Good. Yeah. Doing a lot of press today, you know.
Doing a lot of press, Dave.
Yeah, it's a ugly day here in California, so it's a perfect day to be inside.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah.
it's beautiful where we're from. We're from Vancouver Island, British Columbia,
Ah,
Canada.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
it's a beautiful sunny day here today. We're really excited to be talking to you, so this is going to be a ton of fun.
Cool. Right on.
Well, my name is Kyle, and this is my lovely wife, Alana.
Nice to meet you guys.
As you know, we're from Canada. We have a YouTube reaction channel. We also vlog concerts. We just went and saw like Megadeth's tour and all that too. So we're in the known for thrash metal. So we're so excited to be talking to you, Chuck. Testament has been
Cool.
one of my favorite bands for about 20 years now. So the fact I get to say Trial by Fire to you is pretty intense for me, man.
Right on, man. Awesome.
Right on, dude. So let's get the show started because I know you only have a little bit of time with us before you jump to the next one, and you're a busy guy. So we really appreciate
Good.
it, Chuck.
Cool. Thank
Okay,
you.
so we're going to start with today is a massive one for us. We're joined by a true architect of the Bay Area thrash, the voice behind 4 decades of relentless metal, the legendary Chuck Billy from Testament.
Well, hey,
With
hey,
their
what's going on?
So with their brand new album, BELLUM, making serious waves in the upcoming Thrash of Titans tour, bringing thrash legends together, this feels like a powerful new chapter in a historic career. We're diving into the evolution, the legacy, the war themes behind the record, and what keeps that fire burning after 40 years. Chuck, it's an honor and welcome to Enter the Chronic.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. So we're going to start with the tour that you're about to go on in March here. So Thrash
Yeah.
of the Titans brings together bands you've already shared history with for decades now. Does this feel like a celebration, a reunion, or a declaration of something greater?
All three. It's
All
really
three of them.
it really is because we've had a lot of history together. The band's 40 years still making good music, still out there touring, still, kicking down doors of thrash metal, introducing people in a new style. So yeah, I mean it's everything from above. I think we did this in Europe last year, Thrash to the Titans, and it went over well. It was with Destruction, Nervosa, and Obituary in Europe,
Nice.
and Obituary couldn't make the American leg, so Overkill was kind of a natural choice. We got a lot of history at them. Band response made sense. People wanted that too.
Right
It's been
on.
a while since we toured with Overkill. They were the first band to take Testament on tour in America back in '87. So
Wow.
yeah, it made sense. Hey, we're taking full circle. Here we are again.
Wow. Well, big
Very
congrats
cool.
to you too, because it's amazing to be performing with friends as well.
And to hang on the road. I mean, because touring life, it's the not most glamorous like everybody thinks. There's
Mhm.
a lot of trying to stay healthy, not get sick, eat right, do all those kind of things. So yeah, so when you're with people you enjoy hanging with, that you got a friendship with, yeah, it just makes the days go by so much better.
Oh,
Either
totally.
Absolutely.
simple things, even just like, hey, let's go for a walk in the morning and just chat and talk about stuff. That just little things like that. It's great.
Well, that's awesome for you. And we kind of leading into a question, what is backstage like now versus the 80s?
Woo. Well, I mean, it's definitely tame now compared to the '80s. The '80s, I mean, the '80s when we first got in the band, we were young, and you get signed to a record deal, and hey, I get to go on tour and go to places I've never been in the world. It's exciting, and we loved to party when we were younger, so the party just kept going to every city.
Right.
A lot of alcohol, a lot of all night parties, just a lot of that. But I think we didn't know any better. We thought this is just how you do it. This is what you do when you get on tour, and over time we've noticed that it kind of sucks singing with a hangover every day. You know, my voice is kind of shot smoking all that weed last night, you know? So at some point you got to go, you know what? I feel like I'm cheating the fans. I'm not giving them 100%, you know? And
Respect.
at some point you got to go, okay, wait a minute, you know, this is what I do that yeah, I'm having fun, but I need to like really treat this like it's my job and a profession and give 100%. Do it after the show. Do a little bit, but maintain enough so you're ready to give 100% every day. So
Mhm.
today, I mean, yeah, we have our rituals. We'll have things that we do to prepare for the show in our dress room now that's much different than back then. It's much quieter. Um, you know, we drink by ourselves an hour and a half before the show to prepare instead of a madhouse in there of friends and
Oh, jeez.
you know, you're going crazy, going, hey, oh yeah, by the way, we got to go on in a minute. Help back, you know. So it's much more different where it's lots more controlled chaos.
Right.
I warm up for a vocally for like an hour and a half. Sometimes Alex is warming up all day. Steve starts his drinking ritual about an hour before the show, and same thing with Eric. So everybody has their new things they do now to get on with the show. So it's definitely it's not the young guys that didn't know better. We're the OGs now that want to give 100% to the people that are paying money for these tickets.
Mhm.
Wow. Well, your new music from Parabellum is feeling like old, but it's new too. It feels evolved. So I love where you guys are at right now. And to finish off on the questions about this tour, Thrash of the Titans was the name of the tour your friends held when you were battling cancer. Is there a correlation to this?
No, I mean, I think when we that was going on, we all trademarked it and got that rights to the name. So when it came down to think of a tour, Thrash of the Titans just really fit in. And then we did
Yes.
the Titans record, you know, it just kind of made sense to kind of continue the theme of the Titan theme. And it seemed to sell well when we did stuff like that, you know. So we've learned just being here around so long, you know, we tour with our OG friends, which work, and then, you know, we've tried experimenting out with newer, younger bands, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't.
Right.
And so now we're back to kind of going back to our own generation, and you know, it's tough because you want to get those new fans, you want to have those younger fans come in.
Mhm.
Sometimes us older OGs, they don't want to stay out late, you know. Sometimes they're not. They'll buy a record, but they're not the guys going to the concerts anymore necessarily, you know.
I see. Yeah.
So you're kind of in a tough spot. You got to kind of try to figure out how to reach everybody.
Right. And I noticed you toured with Devin Townsend before.
Yeah,
And that's what
yeah,
that was one that kind of seemed a little different from you guys. And we're Canadian, they're Canadian too, so we thought that was just really cool. And you even did a voiceover for Planet Smasher at one of his
yeah,
festivals. So that's
yeah,
really cool, eh?
yeah. I mean, we're, you know, yeah, Devin, that was definitely a different package for us. But again, I think Testament's one of those bands. I think we could probably team up with a lot of different styles of bands, you
I
know.
agree. Right on. Well, then for your core theme for your album now of Parabellum, which is prepare for war, I think a lot of people are kind of preparing for some sort of war right now. So the question we have for you is when you chose the title Parabellum, what war were you preparing for?
Well, the song itself, Parabellum, me and Alex wrote that song lyrically.
Ooh.
And I had the title Parabellum and working with Al, like, you know what, there's a phrase, "Civis pacem parabellum," which means if you want peace, prepare for war. So I just took the Parabellum title and I said, okay, well, let's translate it, prepare for war. So what war are we going to write about? We already covered a lot of them. So
Mhm.
let's use January 6th insurrection as our war. That was our
Oh.
war. So if you read the lyrics, you'll understand a lot of the reference, storming the gates and climbing the walls and all that.
Oh,
So that's the war we use in reference, that they were inside protecting themselves while the people storming the walls trying to invade them. So that was the war that we kind of put together as the topic.
wow, okay. So
Very
so
cool.
the album has a lot of the similar th themes throughout every single song then.
No,
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 okay.
no, but we did lean towards that a little bit because I think the last three records, we always had to lean against war topics and stuff,
Yeah.
aliens and mankind, things like that. But this one, like Havana Syndrome, it's another song that is a silent weapon. This was
Right.
something that was created back in the 70s in Cuba, the attacking the American consulate, with sonic waves,
Right.
them going deaf and losing their vision and feeling ill and throwing up and all these things that happen, so that was kind of another theme of war, you know. And then just the song like Meant to Be, that's a song where I wrote it where you would first interpret it as a love song between a man and a woman singing to each other, their love for each other, but it's not. It's actually mankind, humanity, and Mother Earth,
Oh,
and what the damage and the love mankind has for the earth and vice versa. But in the end, no matter how much we keep pounding it, that humanity and mankind, is going to survive. We're meant to be here. So that's kind of where that came. Again, it's all about the planet, mankind, humanity, all that stuff. It's right in our life. And then also
yeah,
AI, infanticide
totally.
AI. That was another topic right there. Uh, driving, in driverless taxis, or I see
Right.
carts delivering food on the sidewalks. Just this, AI is out there in our lives. So that was one of the first songs we wrote, actually, musically,
Wow.
lyrically, and we actually were leaning that towards the title of the record at first. And then towards the end, after we wrote Parabellum, it's like, you know what? That actually makes more sense compared to the artwork like this with the angel and the
Hmm.
missile wings and everything. That
Gorgeous.
fits better than infanticide AI. And also, we don't want to open that door in case people start criticizing. Oh,
Right.
is those lyrics, or does that artwork, or that some of the music, next thing, are you using AI? And we're like, let's just shut that door right now and just go to something more current and something that actually I'm interested in writing a little more about the war stuff.
Absolutely. And if I know you're interested more in the war stuff, I did have a question about the AI and humanity from Fantaside AI. There's a lot of tension on this record between machines and humanity. When you were writing it, were you angry or concerned about the state of AI with anything like that?
I wasn't concerned, but I guess I guess I am concerned because, when you think about AI, the technology, and you see scientists developing robots,
No.
and
Hmm.
what do they want? They want those things to think for themselves. They want to make it more human than human, right? So
Yeah.
that's their goal. So AI is about retaining as much information as you can. So when does it come to the point when they do design something, and AI is a big part of it, where they've retained enough knowledge to actually make their own decision? So
Hmm.
when is that?
ETC
That's the
sometimes.
that's the scary part of it. So just think about it. I mean, what if AI had control of all of our nukes around the world, and it wasn't mankind or humanity
Making that
making the
decision.
decision,
Oh,
but it was a machine which maybe doesn't have that human connection and
Hmm.
emotion,
hmm
because you can't retain that, or it's based on, other things to come to the conclusion that maybe nuclear fallout for everybody, we're all going to perish, so
Hmm.
that's the scary part. When does it take over, and it's there now,
it is.
It really is. With that, the other thing, you have worked with your artist, Ilarion Cantor, in the past and have mentioned that he has a true understanding of Eric's brain when creating your album artworks and things. When it comes to this album, was the hand-painted artwork by Ilarion Cantor especially important to you in an era with so much AI floating around?
Yeah, I mean, we'd never considered making something AI, but Elaran, we worked for it so long. He knows our style. He knows what Eric likes. Eric's the creative part of that. He's always involved in that. I just kind of wait. So I see it as a sketch, pencil sketch, and I like the theme of where they're going. So I've seen the penciled angel and well, we did speak about our old first flyer we had was our legacy guy pushing two nuclear buttons and a
Oh,
mushroom cloud behind him. So we're kind of, you know what, that'd be kind of cool if we could bring back the old mushroom cloud, since it's a war kind of thing. The nuke buttons kind of make sense, and AI and the whole thing kind of makes sense, you
Mhm.
know. So that's kind of when we went down that and started sketching it. We knew we wanted the mushroom cloud and talked about an angel, maybe with some missile wings or something. But I seen the sketch, but I didn't see the vision I guess Eric and Elleran had when they were kind of designing and talking about it. But until I seen the final colored piece come to me, I was like, whoa, wow, fuck, that's beautiful. The yellow popped out, and I was like, man, that totally reminds me of like a practice what you preach vibe. And man,
Yes.
that
Absolutely.
I could totally see that on a backdrop on stage. It's going to be beautiful. And so right away I knew, man, that he did it again. He came up with something very cool again.
Very cool. And just around the artwork and the album design, my last question for you there is, do you have a favorite album or artwork from an album cover?
Tough.
I can't say that because they're all so beautiful and on their own. But
Mhm.
Dark Roots of Earth, the cover, that's really cool. The roots and the head and everything. I thought that and the color of it, just that's probably one of my favorites.
Very
Nice.
cool. That's a really I haven't seen that album artwork myself, but I won't I have to go check it out now.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah.
And my another question for you is resurrecting a bridge from the legacy feels symbolic. Was that intentional nostalgic or instinct?
Uh, Raising what from the legacy? I don't
Uh,
get what you mean.
resurrecting resurrecting a bridge from the legacy feels symbolic.
So I think what she's
Um,
asking is in the legacy, you brought a bridge from that album to the beginning of this album.
well, I mean, it's not necessarily because the 80s thrash music we wrote was definitely geared for thrash beats. Boop-da, boop-da, doop-da, 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 different style of
Mhm.
writing where this new is a modern testament, but yeah, it's thrash, but Chris adds another dimension,
You got that right.
modern feeling because he was 23 years old when he got into the band. He's
Wow.
27
Wow.
now. So you got to realize he was raised with a different generation of drummers, different
Yeah.
generation of bands that he likes. He likes death metal, likes fast, heavy shit. So
You
he's
hear Children
bringing
of
a
Bodom
new.
and Death in it.
Oh yeah, but he's bringing. He knows he's such an encyclopedia of music. He knows a lot of bands, very obscure stuff, and
Wow.
he's a very fan of that. So I think him working with Eric because Eric loves black metal, he loves thrash, and to have Chris and a guy with that ability, because Eric is really the one that really orchestrates with a drummer, kind of do this, kind of leads him into what he's expecting from him. Where Chris just has that ability, he was just jumping right in, and Eric's like, "Wow, okay, we're just jamming, having fun now." And
Nice.
I think maybe Eric got to focus in on playing guitar instead of thinking about drums, maybe.
Oh, that's
And so
big
they're having
time.
a lot more fun and just we're really just jamming, having a good time. And they work at Eric's house, them two alone. So I keep hearing, oh man, yeah, we watched horror movies, stayed up till 3, we got drunk, we were smoking last night, and we wrote the greatest song at 4 in the morning. I'm like,
Oh,
man,
great.
you guys are having too much fun out there. But that was just it. Chris just had that young energy and vibe and just brought that to Eric, and it really stands out on this record.
That's incredible. And a song that stands out to me after your explanation is Shadow People.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
song develops so much, and then his drumming style really changes up the tempo in that kind of midpoint, and it's so progressive, and it really reminded me of like Children of Bodom and Death, those bands. So I think you guys really have evolved very greatly with having a new drummer like that. And he was coming in at 23. You came in the band at 24, so look at
yeah,
that, eh? Full circle again.
yeah,
So
totally.
we want to talk about your voice because it's incredible. Your voice still sounds fierce. Has your relationship with it changed over the years?
Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely take care of myself better. Like I said, when I was younger, a lot of partying, a lot of hangovers, and just thrashing my voice and not really, I don't know. I don't know if that was really a concern. I was just having fun
Of
going on
course.
tour. Now, I guess over the years, I still use my same vocal warm up. I still do the same thing I've done for 40 years, the same
Oh,
tape I
wow.
use. I don't sing. If I don't sing that warm up tape, I feel like, oh shit, I'm not ready to sing.
Wow, hey,
So
okay.
even at practice, I still got to do this warm up just to get myself mentally think, okay, I'm ready, let's go. But I think over time, because I don't have a lot of range. I don't consider myself the best singer, but the tools I do have, I've learned to really use them, to my
Utilize them
advantage,
fully.
with heavy to melodic to using different textures of voices. I don't have a lot of pitch and high and, octaves and all that crap. I don't do that shit. But what I do have, I've learned to develop it and kind of understand my limits.
Right.
But when I wrote Titans record and this one especially, I think um we found a new formula to writing music because
Sounds like it.
me and Eric have always wrote together, and I've always had an opinion on the riff with him. Every time he'd give me a riff, I go, "Yeah, but I hear that verse riff you're playing. Maybe put that as the verse, and maybe that verse riff, put that as the chorus." Or I would always have an opinion to move something out before I started writing the song, or he tried to go for the final demo.
Nice.
But the Brotherhood of the Snake record took 2 years for me and him to do that, and it was a nightmare. And I really didn't enjoy it, and it really took a lot out of me, and I didn't want to do that again. So when we wrote the Titans of Creation record, I said, just give me the songs, give me the music. I'm just going to take those and just do my best. And what ended up happening by going that route is that I was getting riffs that I was uncomfortable with, or I probably wouldn't have chose that to sing the verse over. So I was actually in a little uncomfort zone, but it actually pushed me to push
Right.
myself to try different things and
Mhm.
push my voice and
Good.
try uncomfortable things. And in the end, when I heard the Titans record, like, you know what, damn man, these all these songs came out really good and they really have their own identity. The
Wow.
way I approached it. And maybe it's just the way I took the songs. I wasn't going the simple way out. I kind of took the long way and the hard way around to get where I needed to get on this record. So
Okay.
when we were coming into the new record, I said, you know what? I had success doing it. I want to do the same way. Just give me the music, and let me do it again. And again, it worked. It pushed me to
Mhm.
that uncomfortable place. I was overwhelmed with riffs. They were just coming at me so much, so much, so much, so much that I even questioned the riffs. I even said, Eric, man, that doesn't sound like a metal riff to me,
Right. Yeah.
but I didn't get rid of it. I just said that doesn't sound metal. But in the end, we used it and it worked within the songs, and it just worked. And so in the end, we're like, wow, you know what? We were onto something here by while we're writing songs. The songs are really starting to have their own identities, and it's making for these better records, these better
Wow.
songs. So late in our career, I thought, this is actually kind of cool that 40 years later, I'm finding new ways and new techniques to do things on records. Wow, that's cool, man.
That is.
And when I listen to the record, I hear like four different Chucks styles in there. Brutal ones with screaming accompanying my brutal stuff. Songs like Nature of the Beast or Room 117. Those
Oh,
are songs, even Havana Center, where I'm pulling back my heavier voice, almost like, you're trying to be a softer tone, I guess. And even when I gave him to Eric to listen to, he was questioning them, like, "Oh, those are the demos, right? You're going to go out and do the final takes next week, right?" I'm like, "No, this is it." So really, it sounds like you're not, giving all that. I know, but that's the way I'm interpreting the song,
yeah. Yeah.
and in the end, when you hear the whole record, it has a lot of nooks and crannies and flow, and
Mhm.
it worked, and it was when we write songs, we never rehearse them as a band.
Oh, really?
We write the music, I write the lyrics, and they never hear me sing. They never
Wow.
hear the songs till the record's done, till I
Wow.
sing them.
Oh,
So I get the music. I go down to LA. I write with my friend Del James or Steve Souza. We've been writing for a long time.
yeah.
Uh, and then I come home and I go right into the studio and record them for the record. And I've been doing that for a while now because I think your first instinct of things are usually the right one, the right choice. And I
Mhm.
know if you overthink it and listen to
Yes.
it too much, you screw up something that might be have the magic in the first take or the first couple of them. If you chase your tail, you're going to lose it. And I didn't
Yep.
want it. I thought that's not working. What we're doing, how we're doing it is working. I have the freedom to not think that is it right? Are the guys going to like it? I
Hmm.
think I maneuver my way in the studio till I go, okay, I'm happy. Send it to the guys now. Let me see, let me get feedback now. And
Wow.
and then sometimes it's like great, or sometimes it's hey, try this or that. And in the end, it all worked out, you know. But just I think at this stage in our career, the way we're writing songs, man, it's pretty cool.
That's exciting.
It's fun, and it's actually turned us. Things were working so great that Eric and Chris had like two songs already for the next record when we finished the album.
Wow.
That Chris came out in February to work, or January to work with Eric already on the next record, and they wrote another six more pieces to start. So they got like eight tracks already in
Oh,
the
they're ready
works
to
for the next
go.
record. Oh, they're ready to go. So
Wow.
hopefully at 27 we can
Another
get
one.
back in there and make another one, you know, and
Oh,
just take that same approach. Let's just, you know, it's working. The songs are coming out. Chris is ready there for us. Let's go, man. Let's keep it going.
yeah, it feels a little new too. So that's incredible. We love our multi generate like genre music too, where it's not just thrash. Like to see your guys' evolution and to see your excitement where you're at now, to know you have new tools to use. That
Hmm.
for us as the Legions are really excited for moving forward. We noticed the time's already going by really quick. We only have like 3 minutes left with you, so we were just gonna kind of wrap things up pretty quick here. And
Okay.
we what would you say to your 24-year-old self now that you're here? Is there anything you would give yourself or like something that you would be shocked about?
No, just calm the hell down, dude.
Calm down.
You got a long career ahead of you. And, you know, if people always ask you, what would you do different? And I think
Mm.
musically, writing wise, I'm not sure that I would change, but the way I approached looking at the music business and the way you live with your band, yeah, I would try to do things differently because, you know, we lost a lot of time in the breakup and everything, but we got
Yeah,
back together, found our way through it, and made for a better band coming out the other end.
I agree. And something that hasn't changed, which will be my last question, is you were mentioning about what you do for your vocal warm up. Is there anything you can allude to us what you're actually doing in that time?
Well, you know, I'm sure a lot of singers, when you first take lessons, it's a term called using your full voice.
Mhm.
So
Mm.
your full voice is almost like your natural voice, you know, just, you know, like that, where, you know, I would warm up using my natural voice, me, you know,
Okay.
that kind of stuff, full voice, where over the years I took her tape, and to be a singer in a room with a bunch of guys, it's obnoxious to hear a warm up at full voice.
I bet.
So over the years, I've learned to kind of go, you know, I'm quiet. I'm going, and I'm usually just stretching and humming and working it. I'm not doing full voice no more at all. And it's funny because there's a vocal coach out there. What's her name? She teaches people how to scream, I guess,
Marcella?
in New York. She in New York or
Oh
something? I
no,
can't
this is Netherlands, I'm thinking.
But she teaches people how to scream and stuff like that.
Wow.
And she came to one of the shows, and she just happened to catch me backstage warming up. And she's like interested. She's like, "Well, what are you doing?" You know, and I like pulled out one of my ears. She goes, "Let me hear." And I put it in
Mm.
there in her ear, and I'm singing, and I'm just like, "Me, me, na, me, na, 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 na." And I'm doing my warm up the way I developed how to interpret without doing full voice. And I was first thing I was waiting for her to say is, how come you're not doing full voice, you know, or something like that. But what she did say, she took out his, goes, wow, you know what? You got it. And I go, what? She goes, you figured it out. And I go, what's that? She goes, singers don't have to sing in full voice no more. I see how you're singing
Really?
your voice and doing the humming and stretching. We've learned that that's that's more effective now than singing for an hour full voice. And when you got to go sing for a performance for an hour and a half,
Yeah.
you don't need to do that. You
No.
figured it out. And I go, well, I just did it because I didn't want to bug everybody, but actually it works for me. So she's like,
That's
no,
so
but you
cool.
figured it out. So I felt like, wow, I figured it out. And
You're being
so I was very
considerate of
proud
what
of
they were.
I was proud of that moment, that I'm still using what I've learned, but I've learned to develop that works for me. But it seems to be from the professional singing coaches that it's something that it's right, that I figured out. So that was cool.
That's really cool.
That is amazing. We're having a great time with you. Our time is running up, so we want to be respectful for everyone else that is trying to grab your time right now. Thank you so much, Chuck.
Thanks so much, Chuck.
It's really meant the world to us, and thank you for your time. You come close to us in Portland, middle of March, so we will try to see if
First
we can
show.
make our way out for show,
First show
right?
of the two. Yeah. First
Exactly.
one's going to be a good one. So thank you
Most-
guys for your time. Keep spreading the word of Parabellum. I appreciate it, man. And thanks for your support, man. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Chuck. You have a great day and have fun with everyone else you're chatting with.
Okay. Pleasure to meet you guys.
Okay, take
Pleasure
care.
meeting
Bye
you.
now.
Take care. Bye now.
Bye.